The Jehovahites of the Empire of Jehovah are unique and are not like the people of this world. Although humility is a quality that we love, and we do not glorify ourselves, the Spirit of Jehovah through his Son the Christ said through the Apostle John while he was a prisoner on the island of Patmos, "He who is in union with you is greater than he who is in union with the world." 1 John chapter 4 verse 4. We do not attribute this greatness to ourselves, because this greatness has not come from us, but has come from the Creator of us, Jehovah. Jehovah is the grand Creator, and his creation is very good. The way he created things in the Garden of Eden was the best way and the most perfect that things on earth can be. Mankind has left those things, seeking great things for themselves. They have left the natural ways of humans and have wrecked the planet, family life, and human gender roles. Romans chapter 1 verses 26 and 27 say, "Their females changed the natural use of themselves into one contrary to nature. And likewise the males left the natural use of the female." As Satan continues to lead the world, its women continue to increase their self-love and worship of the female, and more they hate the male that they were made to love, and find themselves completely lost from their original role as helper to the man. This has devastating consequences in the family and in any congregation where this happens. The men, seeing that the women are lusting after one another, after other women, are no longer interested in them. Either they lose their self-esteem and become weak and depressed because they have lost their feminine helper and are no longer happy to be masculine, or they even become violently inflamed in their lust toward one another, males with males, practicing what is obscene. Jesus, through the Apostle John, warned his congregation of the Jezebel woman in Revelation chapter 2 verses 20 to 23, who was misleading his disciples. Revelation was written for the Lord's day, so he's talking about today. Those who claim to be leaders of Jehovah's people are guilty of permitting this to go on, while at the same time they beat their fellow slaves by lowering the males, teaching them that they are equal to women, and humiliating them, telling them they must yield to every demand of their wives. They must give their lives for their wives, as if the woman is man's god, but he should not remind his wife that he must be respected. And to help them in their spiritual adultery with Jezebel, they have made alterations to their translation of the Bible, removing the expressions husbandly owner and fatherless boy, and even watering down Jehovah's description of lesbianism as disgraceful by changing it to uncontrolled in Romans chapter 1 verse 26, even though the original Greek word translates disgraceful or disgusting, and they know that. This hatred of the male is also seen in the teaching that men must shave off their beards in order to be acceptable to Jehovah. Nowhere in the Bible does it even hint such a thing. And this hatred of men and toleration of Jezebelites can also be seen in the way that elders treat harshly male members of the flock, while they turn a blind eye to wicked sin that is being carried out by female members of the congregation. The Jehovahites hate this badness and want to keep themselves completely clean from its influence. For this they will have Jehovah's approval and will be blessed. We know what the Bible says about male and female. We admit it honestly, even though it is different to the world around us. And we love the way Jehovah made things and want to live that way ourselves. That makes us different, and it makes us happy. We know that the Bible says in Proverbs chapter 12 verse 4, a capable wife is a crown to her owner. Not only was the woman made to be man's helper, but she was made to be his subject, giving him a crown, making him a king. Without woman, a man is no king. Even if he can rule over animals, he will always feel incomplete without a woman. The woman makes him king, and we men of the Empire of Jehovah recognize that fact. That's why we value our women more than a worldly man who does not feel like a king ever could. A Jehovahite woman can make a man feel better than any Jezebel woman ever could. And we Jehovahite men appreciate that, and so does Jehovah. We Jehovahites of the Empire of Jehovah recognize Jesus' counsel at Revelation chapter 2 verses 20 to 23, and we will obey Jesus' words. We also recognize that Jesus' words are true, in that this situation has developed amongst those who claim to be Jesus' congregation, and until now they have not repented. And with their soft talk and smooth words, they subtly beat their fellow slaves, as Jesus said the evil slave would do. Matthew chapter 24 verses 48 to 51. Behind the false pretense of happy families, Jehovah and Jesus can see the unhappy marriages that many sheep are in because of this apostasy. We Jehovahites are no part of this world. We are different. Our way of life is different. We are taught by the Bible to live by the way of wisdom, to think carefully and acquire understanding. The Proverbs. We love the way Jehovah originally created human beings, and we want to live that way. God has made the wisdom of the world foolishness. See 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 19 and chapter 3 verses 19 and 20. We reject the worldly propaganda that bombards every individual who comes in contact with its media. We believe Jehovah's way is better, and we are better for living that way. And when we recognize another Jehovahite, maybe from the wearing of a yellow, red and white sleeve cuff, we know we have found someone with whom we share these principles and ways. A Jehovahite is someone we can trust and love. And love him we must, because we are commanded by Jesus to do so. Love is the bond that unites us. But not a false and hypocritical love, no. real and genuine love. We look for what we can do for our fellow Jehovahite. Kindness is our characteristic, and we want to show kindness to our fellow Jehovahite. A Jehovahite is a genuine Christian, and we love genuine Christians. We have God-given roles, duties and actions to carry out that are for our fellow Christian, even for the worldly, and for God. A Jehovahite has the responsibility to carry out the commands of the Bible, including the preaching of the good news of the kingdom of Jehovah. And we also have the responsibility to work for the benefit of the congregation, to build it up and take care of one another. These are God-given assignments and Christ-directed duties. The world does not have these assignments, duties, and responsibilities. They do not do the same things that we do. Our work is unique and makes us unique. Our unique ministry is a ministry to God and Christ. We act and live for God and Christ. The people we see out of our window, who we pass on the street and share the roads with, do not act and live for Jehovah and Jesus. But we do. We are no part of this world. We belong to Jehovah, and we are happy that way.